Welcome again to the Talking Pictures podcast with hosts Tony Toscano, CC Chambers, and Raquel Baldwin-Horton.
We're talking with Monica Moore-Smith, who's an actress, a singer, and a dancer.
You want to add that?
Well, I do want to add
Okay.
that.
No.
Were you athletic as a child? Did you do a lot of athletic stuff?
Yes, but not in performing arts. I was a sports kid.
Really?
So, yes. So I did every sport from soccer to gymnastics to karate to, I even tried fencing. That didn't last for super long. To basketball to softball.
You come from a big family, so that helps.
Yeah. Little brothers, I got to keep them in line.
So I'm watching all the things that you do on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're really, really super busy.
Yeah.
So at what point do you go, well, I'm super busy now? What are you planning to be busy, or does it just happen?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think I have a hard time saying no. And that's something that I'm definitely trying to learn the balance of. But I'm the kind of person that wants to fill up my time with good things and be efficient. Mm-hmm. And I would much rather be at the end of my week and be like, okay, I did something and it was busy, but as long as it's manageable, I would much rather say that than like, oh, all I did was play Pokemon Go or something. Well, no offense to Pokemon Go, but...
Yeah, because there's a lot of money in that, isn't
there? Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think it's just, it's my career that I'm kind of busying myself with, and I want to further it, and I think since it's my career, I need to be in charge of it, and so being busy tends to result from that.
How supportive is your family in this career?
Very supportive, which is good. I think though, it's not just because it's like, oh, it's a performing thing and you get to be a star and that's cool, because my parents aren't at all, they don't care about my celebrity at all. That's not important to them. They don't try and push me to do things I wouldn't be comfortable doing, just, to kind of get that star factor. That's not at all what matters to them. What I like is that they're supportive of me and whatever I'm doing, as long as I stay true to my values and who I am, and I'm happy. And they're very supportive.
It's kind of a weird thing about show business, because there are pockets of really great people in this business that understand that. And whether they're Methodists or LDS or Catholics or whatever, they kind of go, well, yeah, we understand that. But there's this group that just doesn't care.
Yeah.
And, they want you to kind of compromise yourself a little bit. So have you been involved in something like that where you've just had to leave and say, look, this is just not me?
I don't think I've had to ever leave, because generally since with social media has actually been very helpful, because right up front you look at my bio, it says LDS, and you see all the work I do. People generally know I don't go for very edgy or immoral things, so kind of right up front they kind of know not to mess with me. Or if they'll approach me about certain things, I'll just say, this kind of sounds sketchy, I'm going to stay out of it. So luckily I have not been in a situation where I've had to leave, but there have been times I've had to say, I'm not really comfortable with this, or if we could adjust this, I think you can still keep it classy and still have a strong piece of art. And so there's been little things, but I've been fairly fortunate to not have to walk out or anything.
See, I'm one of those people that, as a producer, I produce a lot of television. Mm-hmm. I think you can say anything. It's how you say it. I think you can convey any idea. It's how you say it. And I always like to see a little certain class. I grew up in an era where television was a little more classy. It wasn't as raw as it is. But there's room for everything, I think, on the buffet. It's just, you don't need to eat that.
Yeah. I don't have to partake in that.
Now, you produce your own music videos. You do that. You have one that just came out.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the concept and to fruition on that.
Yeah. Okay, so I actually wanted to kind of do an original, because most of the stuff I do is covers. And so I was kind of asking around Utah for some artists that would like to collaborate, just kind of, because there's a lot of people who write music and who have all these ideas, but they aren't an artist. They don't sing or they don't play an instrument, so it's like they have these great ideas, but no venue or no one to magnify that. So I collaborated with Wayne Burton, and he had this song called Whisper, and it was kind of one of those songs, like the first 2 times you hear it, it's like already music videos coming to mind, just like visionary stuff, and I was like, oh, I have to have this one. But what I love is, you know, I'm used to just kind of having the actor position where I go in, I do my job, I do my character work, but this was really, I get to, from the beginning, kind of create this. This is like my baby. So I get to come up with the concept, and I get to decide if I like this or not. I get to say yes or no, and I can change the edit if I want. And it's really cool to really have something be your own and get to start from the beginning. But there's definitely location scouting and weather that comes into mind. And we had some shoots where it rained, and we had to work around that and change the location, or have a story thing that didn't work and have to change the edit. And there's definitely things I'm learning along the way, but I've definitely grown a lot from it.
Well, the thing is that you got directors like Steven Spielberg who are still learning as well. So that's not a bad thing.
No, it's good. I think you should always be learning. I think if you're not learning, then you're doing something wrong.
Now, as a little girl, when you're dreaming about, performing and being in front of people, that's the part of the show that in the term that you love, but then there's the business side.
Yeah.
You have to kind of really get smart really quick. And so handling money, understanding what ticket price is, monetizing a performance, all of that has to come into it. How do you do that?
This is also another learning process thing for me too. That's definitely, I'm kind of taking it step by step. And that's something that I feel like a lot of people don't realize as they go into acting, that it's like, you're not just an artist, you are a businesswoman. Like you said, you're a business person, you're an entrepreneur. So that is something that I'm trying to learn my best right now. It's very new to me, but just trying to use what I've learned as a kid with money and trying to balance that out, and still learning process. I can't say I'm an expert.
Are you a corporation? Have you made yourself into some kind of, because when your money comes in from all these performances, these many performances, these millions of dollars come rolling in, shouldn't you protect yourself from taxes and things like that?
So there's like business expenses that you can with taxes work with. So there's that aspect. I wouldn't say I'm a corporation per se. I don't know that I have the best answer for that.
We're going to find out after this break as we continue our conversation with Taylor Swift. Monica Moore-Smith.
Come again?
Do you write songs?
I don't write songs. That's something I want to get into. And I definitely have had ideas, but it's a matter of right now kind of this music thing is kind of a new channel. I've always sung, but as far as, having my own music as an artist is something that's kind of a new venue that I just started, I've got 4 music videos out now, but it's just a couple months ago. So acting has been my focus, so now this is something I want to get into, and I definitely have ideas.
But you like the idea of, you're expansive in your career. You're not just going to settle onto one thing.
No, not at all.
Because that doesn't define you, does it?
No. Yeah, so I love, and I also dance as well, so it's like I am trying to channel as many different aspects of the art as I can, and that's kind of with the music videos. I've been learning how to produce those and how to create the story versus just being an actor. So I hope to never stop learning different facets, whether it's directing or script writing or any work I can do, I will do.
What's the next level to your career? What do you want to accomplish next?
I would love to, I do like a lot of commercials and a lot of like Mormon messages and things with the church. I would love to get more into the film, like full feature film side of things, and I've done some of those, but I would definitely love to do more of those, and because I do a lot of little things and commercials, and if you watch Thanksgiving Day Parade, I was just in between the commercials and stuff like that, but I would love to be more in the film side and also be on the other side of camera with bigger films as well.
How does your faith guide you in all of this?
I think I feel like it's a huge factor. I think people can just see from even my Instagram, I like to post inspirational, I like to post scriptures and specifically things that apply to being in this career and having faith. Because how I'm defined a lot is by my faith, and not just because I'm just taking this and letting it define me, but because it guides me in what kind of choices I make and who I want to be as a human. And I love the church and the gospel really, because I like who I am more. So, sometimes I have to say no to things, which it's hard because when this is your livelihood, saying no to a job can mean saying no to a paycheck. And that's something I had to decide beforehand coming to this business, was that I am only going to do things that I'm going to be proud of and that are going to align with myself. Because otherwise, if you don't decide solidly beforehand, you're going to get into this business and you're just going to get washed away and you're going to lose yourself. Even, whether you're religious or you're not religious, I think you need to know who you are. I think you need to be solid in that before you get into all this craziness, because people are going to try and change you. People are going to try and push your boundaries. People are going to try and get you to do anything they can. So you have to know for sure, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm not going to do, this is what I can be proud of. And that way you can go through this career as yourself and be solid in that and not just get washed away.
There's always some guy, I don't know if he's a part of a station or a music video or whatever, coming out of the woodwork saying, well, you should wear this or wear that blue tie. That happens to you a lot, probably. Is people suggesting things that you change yourself, as you said. And it's refreshing to hear that you kind of have an anchor that says, okay, I'm not going to go too far from this, But you're still testing waters, all the time. But it's more of a creative thing rather than a physical, testing.
Yeah. I think it's more about different art and trying to be innovative in art, but not necessarily in the way of pushing my morals. So I think there's a lot of ways you can make new art without, adjusting those things.
Yeah, without compromising yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
In the process. Because I know a lot of people that have done that. They've kind of lost themselves, and it's taken them 30 years to find themselves
to
again.
come back.
Yeah.
It's really hard to come back.
Yeah, and what they've lost along the way has been pieces of themselves that I know in the case of an actor friend of mine that I can't get that back. No. All those things that I said I wanted to experiment with and try maybe weren't the best choices, So yeah, I think you've got a real good foundation.
Thank you. Yeah.
In how you're approaching all of this, and then being an example, because people go, I don't want to be an example to people, but you seem to want to be an example.
Oh, I think whether or not you like it, you are going to be an example to people. It's just a matter of what kind of example you are, and I also think you're going to have an effect on people no matter what, and I like to make that a positive effect. So, I know some people don't like to be, but for me, I think, whether you're a performer or you're not a performer, or you're a mom or you're a businesswoman or a janitor, which I have been, I think your life has a purpose. I think sometimes people look around and think, oh, I'm insignificant, but your life has a purpose, and I think you need to discover what that is. And if your life has a purpose, it's going to affect people around you. I think you need to figure out what that is and use it to affect people for the better. So if I can be a good example, I'm going to latch on to that and I'm going to milk that, because I want to use my life for the best, and I want to look at the end of my life on my deathbed. I don't want to look back and go, oh, what if, or all this that I did that I regret. I want to be like, okay, yeah, I lived a good life, and I'm proud of what I did.
How do you, social media is obviously really big, and I've seen you on social media, we've mentioned it, but how do you deal with the trolls, the negativity on social media?
You block
those people?
I have had a fair amount of positivity. I've gotten really lucky. I've had some friends who've had it worse, so I think I got really lucky. There are some people, though, the thing that comes with being an example, there are some people who, no matter how try you hard, you are not a good enough example. And they can nitpick at the littlest things. And, I understand people have different standards, and that's great. But sometimes it's like when you are one of the few in your realm trying to be the example and uphold standards, it's hard when even you can get picked apart. You know, when sometimes you look around and it's like, oh, I'm not doing what those people are doing, yet still there's something wrong with me. So I think sometimes, honestly, you just have to back again to the being solid in yourself and knowing who you are. It's like, you cannot be affected by that. You just have to go, you know what, that's your opinion, and that's great, but I know who I am, so I'm just going to dismiss that, take it with a grain of salt, and move on.
We're going to take one more break, and we'll be back with Monica Moore-Smith after this.
A movie podcast should have more than just rolling on about the recent movies. It should also have stories, background, maybe hosted by an Emmy Award-winning movie critic. We have that on the Talking Pictures podcast. So there's a million different movie review shows out there, especially on YouTube. But you know what? None of them have me, Cece. I'm part of the TalkingPictures.tv crew with Raquel Baldwin-Horton, Tony Toscano, and in case you don't know, Tony, he's won an Emmy. My show, I'm available on Vimeo and YouTube. It's called Digital Down Low. Now have a seat, watch my videos, like them, and help me get out of my closet and into a professional studio.
And we're back with Monica Moore-Smith. We're going to get to know Monica a little. Now we're going to get to know you a little personally. What are your hobbies?
Okay, so I have the hardest time answering this question because I spend most of my time doing my career because I mean, it's what I love. So I went into a career I love for a reason. I think you should do what you love, what you're passionate about. So as far as watching television goes, I am a British television aficionado.
You're an Anglophile.
Yeah. That's one way to put it.
An Anglophile.
It's an interesting word choice, but we can go with that. Mostly like period dramas.
So you love Downton Abbey.
I do, but there's other ones. That's like the cliche one that I read. There's I'm a little more hipster in the
really.
I know
Lucifer?
the uncommon ones. I haven't seen that one. I don't know what
that's Idris Elba.
Sounds a little devilish, but
yeah, I know.
I know.
It's not as bad as you think.
Okay, well I'll have to look that one up. But I love period dramas. I just think the acting culture over there is really good and really solid, and they really care about the art.
Well, the difference between English television and American is English television actually they write to an ending. They're geared to stop.
Yeah, they do.
And I love English. I love Sherlock Holmes with Benedict Cumberbatch. I mean, that's one of my favorite
fantastic.
things.
Fantastic. Great.
So what exactly do you watch?
So let's see. I watched The Paradise. I've watched Bletchley Circle, Death Comes to Pemberley, Land Girls.
Land Girls
Sherlock.
was a movie, by the way.
Oh, was it as well?
Yeah.
I watched the TV series. I'll have to watch the movie as well. I'm trying to think of all. There's literally a billion. I actually have a list.
So you have these on Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix. I think most of them are on Amazon Prime now. Yeah. So if you like British television, Amazon Prime is Prime. But other than watching, which I don't watch a ton of TV because I don't have a ton of time, I also love baking.
Really?
Yes.
So you're a cook?
A chef. More on the less on the cooking things in a skillet, but more like making cakes and decorating them and different frosting. And
have you ever made a friend's wedding cake ever?
I haven't done that. I've done a lot of birthday cakes though, but I might work my way up to there and do that one day.
We should have a contest. And
you'd probably win though. You're a real chef.
I am a real chef.
I just work in the kitchen.
But what we should do is say that you should do a music video where you're baking. But then you have somebody donate to a charity, and whoever donates the most in a certain amount of time will get the cake you make in the video.
Well, hopefully the cakes are really good if they're going to donate money for it.
You're the cake boss.
No pressure.
You are now the cake boss.
I am the cake boss, Miss Cake Boss.
We could write a song about bacon.
I could write a song about bacon any day, any sort of
Not
food.
about bacon.
Oh.
But I could write a song about bacon.
Can I say a fun fact?
Yes.
Okay, so I love food. This is no surprise to people that know.
I love food.
Okay, let me say though, I know I don't look like it, but my record at Checkorama, get ready for this, drum roll, is 7 full plates, like full plates of food, eating everything on it, 3 dessert plates, a dessert bowl, and an ice cream cone.
You're like a hummingbird. You have to eat like what? Twice your own body weight just to survive?
Maybe, I don't know. That's how I've always eaten, so I guess.
This is a great question. We're gonna,
okay.
when you get to the health show that we do, you're gonna have to answer how you don't gain any weight from eating 7 full plates.
I don't eat that every day. That's a 1 day a week type of thing.
You eat 7 full plates 1 day a week. You eat a week's worth of food in 1 day.
Yeah, so it just like spreads out over the week, but like you just consolidate it to 1 day. So it's like you feel like crap.
Is it all
afterwards,
protein? Are
you
you staying away from carbs and sugar and?
Well, I actually have a lot of allergies, but there's 1 day a week where I decide to
put your allergies away.
Yeah.
Are you lactose intolerant?
Yeah, I'm multiple things, so I
nuts?
Don't eat. I don't particularly like nuts, but I can have them.
I want to find out what you're allergic to.
But like I don't eat dairy generally or bread, even though it's like Thanksgiving, so I cheated, obviously.
So you're celiac? You have celiac?
I don't have celiac. I just have, like, my stomach just can't take. I have IBS, so I just like my stomach just does not handle anything. So most things it's just like raw stuff, like veggies, fruits, meats. I can have those. But
what's your favorite vegetable?
Artichokes.
I love artichokes, and nobody knows how to make them in Utah.
My mom does.
Well,
so
we'll have to go there.
You gotta come to my mom's house.
It's what you dip them in too. I mean, you have to
butter.
Yeah.
Well, except for I don't really eat butter, so it'll be like coconut oil with salt. That's really good.
Balsamic is good.
Oh, where's that?
Balsamic vinegar.
Balsamic vinegar. I do like vinegar.
It's
I haven't done it with artichokes though.
I was told that apple cider vinegar heals everything.
I do gargle that. It's really good for your throat.
See?
So there you go.
And then, are you close with your family? Do you guys go out to movies and stuff together?
Yeah, we're actually going out to a movie later today. So
what are you gonna go see?
We're very close. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah.
So I'm a Harry Potter fan. So
and because Eddie Redmayne is in it.
Yes,
you're an
he's
Anglophile.
great. So that's why I'm going to see it. I've read all the books 7 times.
So this is also a hobby of yours.
Oh yeah, I like reading. A problem is I like reading, but I'm kind of the person that'll like repeat read a lot. So I don't read a lot of new books, but I'll just like reread the ones I know that are good, because I'm the kind of person that'll go to a restaurant, I'll get the same thing every time.
I'm gonna do what you did with television. I don't read books.
What?
No, I read all the time.
Okay,
but I'm just saying that, that's so last century.
So we have a big library where we have all these books, so we're definitely
You have a big
family
library where
of
you have to climb a ladder?
We do have a ladder.
Oh, that's
cool. So yeah, we're big into books. We love books.
Do you have first editions of that? I have a first edition of A Christmas Carol.
Oh, no.
Charles Dickens, yeah, it cost me.
I've been in that play.
It cost me one of my children.
Oh,
but
well, so we know your priorities.
I actually was in that. I did the one-man performance of that.
I didn't know there was.
And I actually watched Patrick Stewart do it in England.
Oh, Patrick
at Charles Dickens' home.
That. Are you serious? Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm just bragging to you now.
Well, I'm like praise, you know what I mean?
What's up for you next? You've just released a new video.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to go back into the workshop and pop out another video pretty soon?
Yeah, so I'm still doing one a month. So I've got my Christmas one coming up fairly soon. That one's kind of under the wraps right now, but that'll be like a less story involved, more fun Christmassy one, a little more old vintage
Whatever
style.
you do, wherever you go, promise me this. You will never, ever, ever sing Christmas Shoes.
I don't even know that song.
It's the worst Christmas song ever.
Christmas Shoes?
Yeah, it's about this kid that's trying to buy shoes for his dead mother, and it's just a horrible song. It's just.
Well, I wasn't planning
your mother's
on
laughing
it, so
right
she's
now.
Like,
it's just horrible.
Oh, well, then I'm crossing it off the list. That's never going to happen.
All right, do you enjoy
that.
more traditional Christmas carols like Joy to the World?
I would say, I think my favorite though was like Frank Sinatra or Doris Day.
Frank was my honorary uncle.
Are you serious?
My dad knew him all their lives.
I'm in awe. Okay.
I used to go see him in Vegas all the time. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, I love just that, his style of voice, like anything jazzy Christmas.
Michael Bublé has a Frank Sinatra flavor
he's
to
totally
him.
Got that feel.
And Harry Connick.
Mm-hmm. So he's Bublé's kind of bringing that back, which I love. So
which is crooning. It's called crooning.
It is called crooning, and I apparently like crooning.
Well, see, but But doing ballads, like sitting on top of a piano and singing a great ballad has got to come back.
Yeah.
That kind of high-end nightclub performance.
Yeah, I love that. And I love like jazz, and I've kind of been doing so. So the Christmas song I'm doing is actually a jazz one. I don't know that I want to announce it yet, but so I've been doing some jazz-inspired things. Or one of the covers I did was "Ain't Got You" by Alicia Keys, but it was a jazz version, so it was very different.
Do you like postmodern jukebox?
Yes.
Aren't they the
I
best?
love
They were
postmodern
just here in
jukebox.
Salt Lake performing.
I know, and I wish I could have gone, but I watched
So that
other
type
videos.
of jazz
I am all about
reinventing
that.
the music.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
cool.
love this reinvention of. So it brings this kind of old jazz to a new audience that wouldn't otherwise listen to it. But because it's like, oh, I know this is a Taylor Swift song, they'll listen to it. But then it brings that old jazz back. It's just like the classy.
So,
I love it.
So you brought it up. So before we sat here,
I brought it up.
you brought this up. So now it's fair game.
All right.
You get mistaken for Taylor Swift.
Yes,
A bit.
I do. A bit. A lot of bit. It happens a lot. Yeah, about that. Okay, so my haircut. The bangs, the hair color, this is natural, all right? I was born with this. The bangs, I was pretty much born with. I'm pretty sure I had them in the womb because I've had them forever. So if you look back at all
That's
the
your
pictures,
look.
I've had this forever. So I had it first. Taylor Swift copied me. I will just say that.
We're calling you out, Taylor.
Yeah, you want to go?
Yeah.
I know karate.
Yeah, are you good at karate?
Can
you break
I
boards
haven't
and
done it in a
breaks?
while. We would break boards, and I've given a couple people bloody noses on accident.
Do you like to fight? Come on, deep down.
I don't like fight.
I think you do. I think you
if,
like to
if
fight.
I had to defend myself, I would. But sparring.
I was in a fight
definitely
once
that.
in my life.
Oh really?
And you would have been proud of me, honestly.
I would have been.
I blocked the guy's punch with my face, and then I hit him on the knee with my head.
I don't think I've ever been that good. You would have. I mean, I was sparring champion, but had you been there,
Yeah, I
you
would
would
have
have definitely taken that title.
I revert to the old Navajo trick of begging for my life.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think it's good to just fight people without prompt or
I think you should just
something,
walk
but,
up to somebody and just beat them up.
I mean, it's tempting.
Especially on a
sometimes,
set. Like if you're
but
doing a set, a Hitchcock used to fire somebody.
I'm
you
sure
go in-
I would get rehired if
Yeah.
I did that.
No, it would be your set. I mean, you just go and slug somebody.
Exactly. If they make Karate Kid the musical, they'd be like. first
Hilary Swank
choice.
was the next Karate Kid. I mean, there's girl Karate Kids.
I know, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Since I can sing and dance and do karate.
It's just a lovely pleasure to meet you and to sit and chat with you.
Oh, thank you.
You're just
Pleasure to
really,
meet you, too.
you're part of this family now. How about that?
I'm
You're
adopted.
part of the-
It's official.
You will send
I'll
papers.
sign the papers.
It's almost like those dolls you have to adopt.
The dolls.
Yeah.
Oh, I have.
What were they called? Something kids.
Cabbage Patch Kids?
Cabbage Patch Kids.
Oh, those were the ugliest things. I mean, they probably had great personalities, but those were the ugliest baby dolls ever.
I was a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Oh no.
So I was
I'm sorry. You've moved on. Hopefully. Maybe. I'm sorry. Oh, he's crying. Let's cut.
Thank you so much. You're
Thanks
an
for
absolute
having
love.
me.
Come back.
Thank you. Yes, I will.
Have a show here. We'll just throw a show together.
Sign me up. I'm down.
You really? Okay, we're done.
The Talking Pictures podcast is produced by Talking Pictures Productions. Produced by CC Chambers. Talking Pictures podcast distributed by Geek Factor Radio. Also on SoundCloud, Libsyn, and iTunes. Music and sound effects provided by bensound.com.